Morning, artist in recovery. Hello, Darryl. It's been a long while. 5:11 in the morning, West Coast time. It's the 22nd of July, 2024. For Monday morning. Yeah, she must be obeyed. She needs attention. She needs love. And she's being a pain in the ass all night. Sleep was that non-existent these days. No, I mean, I look at recipes. Only if I can afford the damn recipes these days. I always have to do the damn balancing and budgeting left and right. Things happen that way. Part of the bills have already been partially paid. I still have to deal with that shit. And yeah, I know you don't like dealing with the Trump and everything else going on. Who the hell does? I got another gentleman who's following commenting stuff. I hardly ever hear from you anymore. But I'm still trying to keep track of what's going on in your life that you keep putting out there. Haven't seen anything concerning about the ladies because, I'm sorry, that's not one topic I'd touch. It isn't. But there are things I am touching these days this morning. So, yeah, I did notice about Trump and his fight, fight, fight. There's a lot of theories. There's a lot of things being passed around from corporate media to independent media to anybody else talking about it. Good Lord. If he found out he was all right, then he's going to say, "Yeah, be tough, fight, fight, fight." Yeah, yeah, he was saying it, and people are going, "Yeah," into a frenzy. Yeah, it's going to be a hell of an interesting experience we're going to have. And having my own attorney general turn into a vice president, actually a senate, then vice president, and now a presidential candidate. Hoping that maybe, just maybe, she'll become president. I know there's a few in the Congress right now, dude, that are pissed off that Biden had to do this because he got bullied and pushed into this damn thing. I'm starting to think about it more and more about him. Yeah, I do support the guy, but I'm also trying to think about how his own body and his own brain itself is trying to deal with being older and not on the speed. I'm also understanding this hypocrisy that the Democrats are shoving out to people left and right. They're going to support your candidate as long as they meet these certain criteria. And then you have the other Democrats jumping on those guys. So it's a free for all on this one. Which I'm kind of surprised that the Trumplican Party is not going to be able to is going to be able to get into the office. I mean, at this rate, if the Democrats are still tearing each other apart without being a unified party, we're fucked. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna sugarcoat the damn thing. We're fucked on that one. If it's going to be a miracle, oh, to God, there is going to be a miracle in this one here. If we happen to get a higher power involved in the situation, maybe, just maybe, we'll get Kamala Harris squeaking by into each state, winning the votes necessary for the Democratic Party to get a lead on this shit. And because of the political maneuvering going on, the ones who are screaming and yelling will probably have seats vulnerable. Vulnerable. They want to keep their seats. They want to make sure that they keep their um, electors and get the population under their area supporting the Democratic candidate. And if they've got a problem concerning about President Biden, then that's an issue, isn't it? If President Biden couldn't convince them about how strong and virulent he is in his older age, then we've also got another problem that you hadn't been seeing. And neither has old Bo. Bo the fifth column, as some people adore and worship. I don't. I listen to the schmuck from time to time, seeing what the hell he's talking about. All nice and folksy over here. Some people thought he'd be a great president. I'm saying no, he doesn't. No, he's not. They're not going to elect a nice guy like this asshole in. He's not an asshole. Sometimes you have to be an asshole. Be nice and sweet. But inside, roar, you got to be an asshole about things because the people out there are going to be pushing your ass. Congress does it. Politicians anywhere else will do it. World leaders will push you. Unless you know how to sweet talk your sons of bitches left and right. It's a hell of a thing to go through, I'll tell you that much. Unless you have the gravitas. Trump's been developing his own gravitas like crazy that people are attracted to him, like worse than the Pied Piper. You ever read or seen the stories concerning about the Pied Piper? We're seeing it in action right now. You think you're having a conniption fit right now, Darryl? Jeez, give me a break on this one, artist in recovery. You're fearing too much? Yeah. And sometimes I wake up to the fact of what's going on. It does scare the hell out of me, and I'm trying not to be overwhelmed by the damn thing. So, thinking that Kamala Harris is getting into position at this point over here, I'm thinking there had to have been some stuff happening in the background. It just wasn't happening overnight. This had to have been pre-planned one way or another. There had to be contingency plans. You don't go into a situation like this without having backup plans going. I think she was one of them. And I wouldn't be surprised if she was part of the planning in the first place. If Biden was feeling so damn ill and so damn sick, he knew that he had to depend upon Kamala Harris to get him through things. And one of them was going to be the greatest sacrifice he's going to make, and he's hating it. He wants to beat Trump. His spirit wants to beat him and everything that Trump stands for. But Harris has to be groomed into the situation. You just don't go into it hilly-nilly-willy. They have to be groomed a little bit. They have to be educated what the hell is going on. Unless, of course, she already knew and she's chomping at the bits. Now, here's the fun part. Each state is going to have to determine whether or not if she's going to be the party face for this one. That's if the Democratic National Committee has decided, with all the electors in it, to root for Vice President Harris to become President Harris. You want to talk about your fear level going up now, pal? Your tension level? It's just getting started. We got about 3.5 months before. Yeah, she must be obeyed again. Joys of having a dog. But this is going to be traumatic for every one of us. Republican Party knew that Harris is over there, but the problem is the low profile she kept throughout this time. I wouldn't be surprised if she was going through the back channels, learning things need to be done. She wasn't popular. Actually, she wasn't public to be popular, though. She was the backup. And they're all like, even the Democratic Party are like, they're not quite sure how to make out of her. Unless, of course, they're dealing with her and speaking with her and realizing she's an underground fighter. She had to be tough. Will you get out of here, you son of a bitch? Arkin's coming today, thank God. But I won't get rid of these assholes long enough or fast enough. I gotta get the damn traps out. Look, she had been a prosecutor. She had been an attorney general in California. She was the toughest woman. She was the toughest woman we actually had in the state of California. She had been in the Senate, and she started to learn the back roads. She was elected into office during that time. Not a state representative, but a senator. A junior senator. But even a junior senator needs to learn a lot of things. And she was learning it. How to maneuver politically. I am not going to discount this woman here. Even though I'd like to have Biden back in there. The problem is, and I know it's going to be gentrification at this point over here, or just age discrimination I'm doing here. I mean, I'd like to see Biden in there, but unfortunately, his brain and his body are not there. His spirit's fighting, yes. But if the body and spirit are not willing, dude, if they're not willing, you know we got an issue then. And Harris was the backup. Why else was she elected vice president in the first place? Why was she on the ticket with Biden? He knew. He had to have known. I'm not talking about a conspiracy. I'm talking about looking at the evidence I'm seeing before my eyes and thinking, he knew. He knew. There was going to be one day that she was going to be needed at this point, and she was the backup. If he was going out, he needed someone to get up to speed on this one that he can trust. And somehow or another, he made that possible. Of learning about her, trusting her, talking to her. And Hillary Clinton, if she was young enough, a little bit, maybe younger, I know I'm doing age discrimination at this point, would she still be popular? She's about the same age bracket. We're talking about Joe Biden at this point. I'm just saying that people will be going after Hillary at this point if she was going back in office, even in her own age. But there's no way in hell they'd be voting an elderly lady who'd be a statesperson in herself. They wouldn't vote her because she's an old lady. And they got this age discrimination going on. Doesn't matter which particular party. They're saying an old person in office. They want to say younger, vibrant. That's the problem. We are in our age discrimination here, aren't we, pal? Tell another watcher out there. He's not sure about the politics we've got right now. He's not quite sure how to handle the politics. I got something to tell you, Darryl. Nobody does. Welcome to Politics 101. Welcome to Democracy 101. Shit. You want to talk about being fearful at this point? Try being a Venezuelan. I shit you not. These guys have been dealing with strong-end people like for 20 or more years. And the democracy has always been twisted and screwed up, and because you have the people, you have the elitist people coming in and think they're going to be running shit, and they got to brainwash your ass and also skull thump your ass. And then what happens? They get into power, and then the economy gets tanked, and everybody else goes crazy at this point over here. But as long as you got an army to back you up, but how are you going to be maintaining that army? You have to have a source of income to do that in the first place. Venezuela depends upon oil commodities. It depends upon oil market prices, and if the prices drop down, they don't make money. If the prices go up, they make money. What do we got for the market? We're consumer based, but we have produce. We do have some manufacturing going on. We do have exports in energy, so we're able to use that. We're able to use that in the market. Gives us our political advantage and also gives us our economic advantages sometimes. We too can affect the oil market. I'm not talking about at the gas pump either. I'm talking about if we actually had one company undercutting everybody in the oil prices, then that affects everybody. Economics 101. But it also affects political. It also affects your politics in the country, just like Venezuela. The market fluctuates, prices go up, food becomes scarce, supply versus demand. Actually, less supply, more demand. And even with a strong-armed dictator, so-called president. This is kind of a viewpoint that people think America has turned into, this kind of banana republic with President Joe Biden. Now we both know that's bullshit, but the other side's selling it, and the other side's buying it. We need to have somebody with a little bit more blood in their teeth. We need Harris in the fight. She's got to be the pit bull. She has to be, dude. She's got to get in there, either sweet talk or use something else. And Biden's too much of a negotiator at this point. He'll talk the talk, but he doesn't have the political strength because his political strength is taken out from underneath him. His supporters, his so-called supporters. And not to mention those who are paying his bills. You're going to get into politics, you're going to owe. You need backers. Just trying to educate my other follower on this one here, pal. So yeah, you're worried about the damn thing. So am I. We hear everybody else talking about it. It's the war drums we're hearing. You hadn't heard it? God, Lord. Because you've been playing those same damn drums too. Like everybody else. Maybe sometimes I'm doing it too, and that I don't even realize it. But this is what's happening, Darryl. So, we have to focus on the things that we can control. And right now, until November, I'm not going to start stressing about it. I still got to control some of the stuff I've got right now to deal with. A bug war today, cleaning up the apartment before that happens. Dealing with my mother, who seems to be having conniption fits. And maybe a few other surprises that's going to be taking me for granted, not for a loop. So, let's hope both of our days are going to be a little bit better today. I don't know what Tuesday's got in mind. We'll both see. With that being said, trying to have a good one, Darryl. And for God's sakes, will you be able to give me a call or actually drop me a line somehow? Jesus, you're a hard dude to talk to, you know? You really are. How many videos have been trying to talk to you about certain situations and you don't even bother, and yet you worry about your monetization every time you get a video watched and you get a like and you get some chump change out of me? So this is one guy's calling in the favor. I told the other viewer. There's something about a back scratcher. Think on that one, dude. You owe me. You owe me not just besides the comments. I want to do a video conference or just video talk. And you send a letter, I'll send a letter, so we can keep up with the recovery and other things that are pissing us off. I mean, yeah, those other comments that you wrote a few weeks back, yeah, they put me offline on that one. And opinion? No, they're direct stuff I said to you. I don't hold things back sometimes. And I don't like losing friends over it either. I don't like losing people over it. It's getting hard for me to trust people. Hard enough for me to include them in. I just recently resubscribed to your channel. I hate owing favors and I hate collecting favors. I'd rather be collecting friends so we both have some kind of stability, something in our lives. Let's talk.